Today is 23rd of August 2018. Market open with a huge gap and trade upward, close well, up 50 point at 3249 with above average volume. Now the immediate resistance at 3275, which is a distant away, and support is at 3200. Mentioned in the previous videos that after this sell down itself, over here we do see a losing of momentum on the downside, and we do expect throwback. At about 3200s we trade a bull bounce, and today stocks actually make a very decisive upward move. Now we do expect rebounds, but this gap is a bit of a surprise. So anyway, we like to actually look at 3275. It's not easy to take out this because of this congestion zone here. Now let's take a look at the strong stock we'll be discussing for quite some time. This is Yangzijiang. Now over here we have a contraction setup here. We'd like to see break above this high here of 111. Now mention that Costco is consolidating, so we just have to be more patient and set our alerts accordingly. Alright, notice actually the 1326 actually is converging, so it's a sign of losing momentum. It's actually a consolidation patterns. So I'd like to actually wait for it to complete and eventually break above this high here of 415. This is City Neon. I've been trending very nicely, and despite today's positive actions, it's actually pulled back. This is a big dipper setup. So look for a break above this high here of 114. Mentioned that iFast is actually consolidating. In fact, it is a very large consolidation patterns. We like to wait for it to complete. Be good to actually to look at it on a weekly charts. See, right now actually we trade a series of inside bar. Look for a break above this high here of 117. Now we also mentioned Sheng previously, and stocks tend to be more sluggish and should be traded on weekly charts. Now this happens to be the weekly charts of Sheng. Over here we have a big dipples, and they actually broke up very decisively and closed fairly well. The fact that we trade an extension bar is likely to actually pull back. Mentioned that among the property stocks, apart from View Lots, which is an obvious target to be taken privates, CapitaLand is the stocks that exhibit strength. And this is what we have seen. Over here we have a small dipper breakout but didn't close well, follow through, and today more decisive. Notice the increase in volume. So like to wait for pullback here and look for setup. We do have resistance over here, so something we to take note of. It's about 345. Now some of the manufacturing stock had exhibit some strength recently. This is Valuetronic, a very nice trust bars, and right now here pullback. Look for stocks to break above this high here of 79 cents. Now we mentioned AEM in the previous videos to be careful of a counter trend. Alright, and somewhere near the $1 psychological resistance we have a severe sell down. This is a wide range reversal bar with increased volume, and to trade inside there, that's technically weak. So here we have a big dippers. Look for a break below this low here of 81 cents. Now remember, we are just riding on the momentums. Notice the moving average actually is not in order. In fact, the 13 is actually pointing upwards. Now, of course, today's strong move dominated by the big cap stocks. In particular, is Singtel. There were news of mergers of two telco in Australia, and it's likely to benefit Singtel subsidiaries. But if you look at a bigger picture, stocks are actually not trending. It's actually range bound. Crisscrossing of the moving average is evidence of consolidation. Now today I actually have a gap and close fairly wide with very high volume. Look for pullback here, and we like to ride on momentum here to actually trade on the long side. We see that also in Sembcorp industry. This is perhaps a much better stocks to look at. The previous bar itself, we already see a wide range bound and follow with a gap and close well. Look for pullback here, look for setup, by which times, if you notice, the moving average are quite in order. If you compare that with San Marine, this is just a counter trend, and moving average is still pointing downwards. And today it didn't really close well, so it's a sign of weakness. This is more like a candidate for shorts. So here we have a small dip, but the bar low is quite a distance away at 165. Cable gap is also quite messy, even though it actually gap up today. Again, this is quite evident with the crisscrossing of the moving average. There's no trend at all. Alright, so it's actually part of a sideways move, so we should leave the stock alone. Perhaps for long, it's better to focus on semiconductor industry. Likewise, for banks, we don't see consistency. This is OCBC. Notice the stock is actually range bound, trading sideways, and today trade a small bar as well. In fact, it's a reversal bar with increased volume, so it's probably actually consolidating, just holding just above the supports, and it may break on the downside. We can actually take a look at the weekly charts to give us some directions of the long term. So we notice actually it's trading decisively below the weekly 1326 SMA, and over here it's actually a rest. It's actually resting, so it may break on the downside. So we actually want to take a look if it break below this low here of about 112. DBS. Alright, this happened to be a weekly charts. It's actually quite weak. On the short terms, it's probably doing a rebound. Alright, and it held at the support, it managed to actually bounce off. So again, this is actually a weak stocks. It's just that short term there is this upward actions. We also notice many of the oversold stock like Genting. Alright, notice over here, and today we have an up bar. So this is something we look out for, to look for setups to short. Likewise for Thai Beverage. Very directional, and right now we have a up bar. Alright, so we could expect further actions on the upside, and we look for setups to short. We also see very strong move from Noble yesterday, and today it didn't close that well through Doji, likely to pull back. Again, we like to see the quality of its pullback. If it's a shallow pullback, we can trade on the upside. Just have to be mindful, we have resistance at this high here of 19 cents. So markets actually are not trending at the moment, so we just have to be more focused on the strongs and the weak stock respectively for long and shorts. And of course, important thing is to actually trade a smaller position since the markets is lacking sense of directions, and it's very much influenced by the negative news overseas, in particular trade tensions and some of the issue relating to Turkey.